Hello, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we're super happy to have you here. And if you've been listening and enjoying for a while, I would be super grateful if you would please take a moment to give us a review on Apple Podcasts. It's one of the best and simplest ways to pay it forward and help others find the show so that they too can tap into the powerful perspectives and positive vibrations we are collectively emanating. The other unique and magical way to share this show is by sending any friends you think would benefit from listening to this podcast our Game with the Universe link at positivehead.com/game. Also listed in the show notes, which will serve them up a quote-unquote random episode when they click it. Just instruct them before clicking the link to close their eyes for a moment and sincerely ask the universe to cue up the episode that contains the insight and perspectives that they most need to hear at this point in their life journey, and then click to listen to whatever episode is synchronistically served up to them. I have heard time and time again from people about the incredible results they received playing the game. So just tell your friends magical results are guaranteed or their karma back.
All right, all you positive heads, welcome one and all. I am super grateful that you have joined me today on what is always another magical today. Always another magical today, as long as we decide to make it one. It is our choice each and every day. We have this beautiful thing in this world called free will, and we get to decide. We have this choice. Lately, things have been extra specially magical in my office. Many of my clients have been seeing themselves as these incredibly powerful star beings, these beings who have come to Earth throughout the ages to help in different ways. And it's all been part of this very big plan, this plan that's been sketched out and layered to help the Earth because the Earth got into trouble. And so these beings have been coming for a very, very long time. And I think that many people are seeing these aspects of themselves now because there is no more time to forget. It is time to remember how great and powerful we really are. And so this session that I just had this week, I want to share a bit of it with you. I'm going to share actual clips from it. And before I do, and before I talk about it, I just want to greatly thank my client for allowing me to share this with you because some of these things that came through are so incredibly powerful. This session started off like many are starting recently, where the people are seeing themselves as magical beings, as beings here on Earth that are able to do magical things. They often have magical tools as well, and oftentimes there are crystals or gems associated with these tools. Well, this client of mine, she saw herself right away writing symbols down in the dirt. And as she would write these symbols, it was like she was casting a spell. And that spell would be for something like rain. And she saw herself wearing this iridescent dress that was very flowing. And she wore a necklace that had jewels in it that were red and clear and even rainbow colored. And also bracelets on both arms. And she said that the jewelry helped her communicate, but not necessarily. It helped the signal be a little bit more clear. And they were given to her by the humans. They wanted to help her feel special because she has this important job that she's doing. So this is where this clip starts. Take a listen.
And why did anyone want you to feel special?
Because I know I have this job to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the communicator, and they want to treat me nice so that I could help them.
Okay. So you have this job to do as a communicator?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And how was that job chosen for you, or how did you get picked for that job?
I was born that way
You were born that way? And how did they know?
when I was little.
Mm-hmm. What told them?
They saw it in my eyes.
Okay. They saw it in your eyes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so now you're there and you're writing these symbols in the dirt. And can you tell me what the purpose would be? You're making a spell?
Yeah, spell or communicating because they want something. It's like not raining enough, or
Mm-hmm.
and they want their crops to be good.
Mm-hmm. So, who are you communicating with when you do that?
It's I've always just been able to write these symbols on the ground and then communicate and think about things and make them happen.
Tell me more about that.
It's like a light shines down and then I get the message when I write the symbols.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never been taught the symbols, I just knew them.
Okay.
I just know them.
You just know them. You were never taught them.
Oh, no,
Mm-hmm. So you write the symbols, do you always write them in the dirt?
yeah, I like to write them in the dirt, in that space.
And tell me about what is it about that space that makes it special, or the communication place?
It's like the ley lines, there's like certain places on the earth have different uh, communication signals.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I feel like I'm on Earth.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so, when you write the symbols down there in the dirt, in this place where the ley lines are just so where the communication signals can be, then the light shines down?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about that. When the light shines down, what happens then?
The light shines down and I go into a trance and then things happen.
What kind of things?
Like the rain comes or things happen. Like the crops are good, the enemies stay away.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And this is your job to do. Does anybody else do this job besides you?
No, it's just me.
Just you. Mm-hmm. The symbols that you're writing, do you, now that you're doing them, do you know what they mean, or do you not?
It's like a language, and like I understand it when I'm writing it.
Mm-hmm. When you're writing it, you understand it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Do you have to think about it to write it?
No,
Tell me about that.
I just keep writing whatever, and it's whatever I think I write. Whatever symbol comes to me, I write it.
Mm-hmm. So it comes to your mind, and then you write the
It
symbol.
comes to me, and I write it. Yes.
Okay. And then after you do that, then the light shines down, and then you go into the trance state.
Mm-hmm.
And then the things that you're asking for, then they happen when you do that?
Yes.
Got it. Okay. All right.
I then asked her if there was anybody around when she was doing this, and she told me that no, she has to be alone because otherwise it would just be interference, and those people, they think that she's weird and they have a fear of her because they don't really understand it, they don't know what's going on, and so they do fear her, but they understand that they need her help, and so it's like they treat her like royalty, but they use her at the same time. And so she goes to this place oftentimes when she doesn't have anything to do for the people, just to be there for herself. Because when she goes, she can go and communicate, and the lights will come, and the beings will come and speak to her through the lights. She even saw that when necessary, the ship will come if she calls her ship, where these beings are associated, her soul family, the beings that she came from before she came to help the earth at this time that she was seeing. I then asked her to tell me about what they communicate about, what the beings tell her, or what they teach her, and this is what she had to say.
And so they tell you about the future. They
Mm-hmm.
help you feel not alone. You feel loved by them.
Mm-hmm.
What else do they tell you about?
Farming.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about that.
Plants. I grow plants.
Mm-hmm.
I love plants.
Mm-hmm.
They're my friends too.
They're your friends too.
Hmm?
Tell me about your relationship with plants.
I can talk to them. They talk to me.
They talk to you?
Hmm.
Tell me about that.
They tell me if they need water, if they need something, if they're not feeling good.
Mm-hmm. And tell me how you hear their communication. How they talk to you.
Just in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're happy or sad, if they need something.
Mm-hmm. And you can hear them in your mind.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they joke. They're funny.
They're
Funny, yeah. They make jokes.
What do they joke about?
About humans.
What do they say?
They're so busy and they think they're so important.
Mm. And if they could give the humans some advice, what do you think they would say?
Enjoy playing.
Mm-hmm.
Treat them better.
They don't feel like humans treat them well.
No, just used like me.
Mm.
Used. Not enjoyed.
They're too busy to pay
Mhm.
attention.
Too busy with things, problems, their insignificant lives.
Mm-hmm.
The worries of the day.
Mm-hmm. Right. And so, anything else they tell you about?
They help. They help people more than they know.
Tell me about that. How do
They try to help people. They try to tell them not to worry, to notice, to care.
Can the people hear them?
Some.
Mm-hmm. How do they feel when the people hear?
Good.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. And the beings, anything else that they teach you?
Not just about the plants, mostly.
Mm-hmm.
And the earth, the nature.
Mm-hmm. Anything else you want to tell me about what you've learned from them?
Plants help. The earth hears. The earth hurts.
Tell me
Not enjoyed. Not the right path.
Tell me what you mean.
People are supposed to enjoy plants and the earth and listen to the plants. And the animals and love, not hurt. Not be greedy, not be selfish. Be grateful. Not listen to media. Earth is not dead. So blind by outside things. So blind by brainwashing.
Before we continue on with today's episode, I'd like to take a quick moment to tell you about a podcast that is focused on answering the big questions in life called Stories of Impact. Did you know that there are researchers out there working daily to discover scientific evidence about how you can flourish? Join Tavia Gilbert as she shares and connects with compelling stories all about the ongoing scientific exploration of how to live better and shares key discoveries of research grantees from the Templeton World Charity Foundation. I listened to an episode with Deepak Chopra where he discusses how human flourishing is intimately tied into our ability to tap into the flow state, which really resonates with me. As you know, if you have read my book, I wholeheartedly believe in the importance of focusing our flow. So, to continue improving your physical and mental health, tune into new episodes the first and third Tuesday of the month by subscribing and listening wherever you get your podcast. And be sure to check out storiesofimpact.org.
And this is one of the main reasons why the higher selves are always telling people to get back into nature, to spend time in nature. Because when we sit with nature, these concepts are understood within us. We understand that that hectic life that we're so concerned about isn't all that important, that we're just wearying ourselves with all these trivial things that are not going to matter in a week from now, a month from now, a year from now. The plants, the trees, the earth, they help to remind us of how connected we are, of what truly matters in this world, of the simplicity that really is all that there is, simply love. Being in nature reminds us of that. And to hear from the plants themselves how they feel, how they would like for us to look at them and be grateful for them and to just love them, it really makes a whole lot of sense. All they want is to be appreciated and loved and to not be taken from. This is a very big theme that comes up a lot in my sessions. And so moving on, we went to the next scene where she wound up being killed by all of the people in this town. They got afraid something happened and they came after her with spears. And so she went to the spirit side where she met back with all her blue light beings, and she felt like she was home again with her family. And as she looked back at that life, she saw that it was just a job that she had to do, a job that she volunteered to do, a job that they all planned. They all have different jobs and they make these plans, these intricate plans. And the way that they do this is fascinating. Take a listen.
We make plans.
Mm-hmm.
We make plans, and everyone does a different job. I always like to help plants, trees, earth.
Mm-hmm. So you all have different jobs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It all works together. That's all a plan.
It's all a plan. Tell
Yeah,
me
it's
about
like-
what's the plan?
So there's like this big table, and everything's connected, and it all has to work together.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all like little lights on the table.
Mm-hmm.
And each light represents a place and a job and a timeline. And it's all connected. It's like five, it's like four, you could see the makes a pattern, a 3D, 4D pattern of the goal.
It makes a pattern of the goal.
Mm-hmm.
What's the goal?
Higher consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
Leading people from Earth. It was in bad shape.
It's in bad shape.
It was. It's getting better.
Mm-hmm. And so tell me more about the job you do, all of you, helping the earth.
We plan how to help in stages,
Mm-hmm.
like Just different stages and different plans, and it's like a ladder. Not a ladder. Like a constellation. The constellations of the universe are the same as the constellations of this pattern.
Tell me more about that.
The constellations and the lights and the stars are just like our map, where we decide where to go and what to do. It's mirrored.
What do you mean?
Our map is like the universe. We map the universe. We compute what happens and what we can do to make this happen. It's like a formula. I hate math though.
Mm-hmm. So you map it out and you compute what happens?
Mm-hmm.
God.
We compute what the best outcomes will be, like a formula.
Mm-hmm.
So it's in order for this to happen, this needs to happen, and that's how we plan our jobs.
And that's how you plan your jobs?
Yep.
Okay.
And we do the formula.
All right. And you said you can see all the timelines too, or just one timeline? Like a place, a job, a timeline, they're all connected?
It's all one.
Uh-huh. But when you're making these plans, like when you're looking at the
Oh, it's like different layers.
Uh-huh.
Like each layer has their own constellation, like timeline, like map.
Okay, so each layer has its own constellation or map.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Okay. And the map's like a constellation
Mm-hmm.
for that timeline or that
Yes, for that
universe?
timeline, yeah.
And how is it mirrored again?
So there's strategic, the stars are placed strategically
Mm-hmm.
the way they look on the same map. It's strategic.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's strategic. Go ahead.
Yeah. The macrocosm and the microcosm.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Same universe.
And listening to that will give you a little idea about how simultaneous time works. That's something that's very difficult to describe. It was hard to even wrap my brain around what question to ask her next about what she was seeing there on that table. And this is a table, by the way, this table of constellations in this middle of the room in this ship, which I don't think she said that yet, but it is. It's in the middle of the room on the ship. This is something that is seen by multiple people. It's something that I have seen, and I know this is probably my third or fourth session where a person has seen this exact same thing, but this was the one time where it was explained in detail. And then, after I called her higher self, they went on to explain a little bit more of this as they told her that she was from this beautiful musical place. And so I asked a lot of questions about this musical place, and what came up is the music of the spheres. And the music of the spheres is a Pythagorean theory that the woman who I was doing this session with had no idea about and had never even heard of. So take a listen to how this comes through.
And how do you see her helping others the most?
Music.
Mm-hmm.
She loves music. She came from a musical place too.
Tell her about that.
That was all music, creating music, vibrations. She was just one with the music.
Can you tell her more about this place?
She would just no body, just spirit, just music, creating music. Music of the spheres, like the map. Math and music is connected.
Can you tell me more about the music of the spheres and the connection with math and music?
Music of the spheres.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's all connected like the map. Like it's all one. It's very planned out, but in a good way.
And when you say the spheres, what do you refer to?
The spheres like the planets in the universe, the spheres.
Mm-hmm.
But just like the universe is all music, the spheres are music. Everything is music. It just does. People don't turn into it. It's there. They just listen.
So does that mean that each of the planets then have their vibration?
Yeah, yeah.
Are they all different?
Yep, each planet has their own musical sound, their own vibrations.
Mm-hmm.
People are finding out too. There's this guy who he shoots the vibrations of different plants and he sees that they have different sounds, and even every plant has a different sound and vibration. Their own music. Everybody has their own music.
Mm-hmm. And so she came from a musical place where she created these vibrations?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What was that place like?
It was just air. Not air, but just there's no words. Just vibration, music.
Mm-hmm.
Just music.
And when the vibration and the music was created, did it like create anything visual?
Yes, it's the starting point. It's the starting point of everything. Music, vibrations, coming together, forming. That's how things are formed.
Tell
With
me about
music.
it. Mm-hmm. Tell me more.
So like there's the vibrations move in a certain way and then they form things in relation to the music. You can use the music to help form things.
Mm-hmm.
You think the notes, the way they go.
Mm-hmm. The way the notes go?
Mm-hmm. You can make the music form. How else are things formed?
Mm-hmm. So it's the vibration.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Even when a sperm enters an egg, there's a vibration. There's music.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's music.
Okay.
So like the planets, when they were just like microcosm and macrocosm, there's always the vibration. There's always vibration and creation.
Mm. Would you be able to recreate, say, the sound of the earth?
Mm-hmm.
Could you recreate that for me? What does that sound like?
Isn't that beautiful? I got goosebumps when I heard it for the first time. And I can't tell you how many clients that I have that talk about this song that the earth is singing. I've never had a client be able to recreate it like this before, or even try to recreate it in song. The closest someone ever said was, well, if I could dance it, I would dance it like a ballerina. And that's exactly what I saw as this client here was singing this beautiful melody, the song of the earth. And so the very last thing I want to share with you all today is I asked these beings and her higher self if they could give humans one message about the earth, what would that be? And this is what they had to say.
You and the earth are one. You need to treat the earth as you would treat yourself. Love it. Listen to it. Connect with it. It is a physical representation of Source, just as you are. It is receptive, and it gives back vibrations with love. It just wants love. Just like all animals, they just want love. The earth wants love too.
And that right there is what it's all about love. Love is always the answer. We are one. We need to treat ourselves, the earth, as one, to love it and listen. Listen to ourselves, love each other. We are all representations of one another, and we need to all love ourselves, love each other just as we are. I love you all so much. I'm going to leave you with the song for today. This is Geometry, Codes of Creation. Until next time, I love you all.
This collapsing of time, this merging of consciousness that's taking place between all species on the earth plane, has to do with something that is going to create a new geometry of being that's going to move through our universe. These beings are around all of us.